13 minutes past 8. Songs from the Inside is a documentary series that's also an album. The program goes inside prisons, and as part of a rehab model, prisoners learn to write, sing and record their own music. And a number of well-known musicians are part of the program, including Crummer and Don McGlashan, both of whom are with us. Good morning.
Good
Hi,
morning,
Mike. How are you?
Very well. Who was that we were listening to?
That was Angela, and she came up with that one just at the really last minute. It wasn't even going to be on the album, so we were really proud of that.
That's amazing.
She'd finished her first song that was for the whole album, and she was just sort of twiddling her thumbs thinking what to do next, and Anika said, you know what, write something about your experience here. So it's a beautiful song, one of those last minute gems.
Yeah. But it's one thing to be able to write something, it's something to sound like that as well, though, isn't it? I mean, she's clearly gifted.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, she's got a wonderful voice. The song, the song that she does in the album, and the song that we see her working on in the show is a real belter. It's a sort of Tina Turner, eat your heart out sort of thing.
All right, so let's start from the beginning. Don, you first. How did you get involved? Why? They
called me up. I'd loved the first series. They called me up, and it was just a no-brainer. I sort of answered, before they'd finished asking the question. I said, yeah, I'll do it.
And so there was no intimidation, no, do I have to, go into a prison, deal with crooks? What are they going to be like?
No, I mean, I had a little bit of experience with that. In my 20s, I taught a couple of seasons of songwriting at Poremoremo, and so I knew a little bit about going into prisons, but I hadn't done it for a long time. And the whole structure of this show was so good that you could really trust the people that were going to be employing you to do it.
What about you, Annie?
I had watched the first series as well and loved it. And of course, you sit there going, man, could I do that? Maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I may not have been, I don't know, ready for something as full on as that. But same with Don, once they called me and, officially invited me to come along, it too was a no-brainer, and I wanted to get that experience. And I think I'm freaking ancient now, and I'm keen to hey, cut it out, and I'm keen to
put back, to give back.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So what are you dealing with? They presumably all have to be voluntary. They want to be there.
Yep.
So that's your first advantage, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. A lot of people put their hands up because the first series rated really well, and a lot of people put their hands up wanting to be part of it. So we got a lot of students, and that meant that the film crew could cast it in the way that they do any reality TV show. You cast, I suppose, looking for people that are interesting. They're going to be interesting on TV. They're going to go through a bit of a journey, it was really cool. Was it a
tougher recruitment based on the fact of the baggage they carry? It's not just like, New Zealand's Got Talent and everyone wants to be famous, because you got to tell them who they are, what they've done, where they come from, all of that stuff.
There was a huge criteria. You should have seen their audition, pieces that they had to pass, and there was a lot of ticks that they had to get, and just one half a tick, you weren't qualified for it. So, and one of them included getting permission from their victims, which is pretty massive. So,
that's pretty cool.
The people that they've hurt and harmed clearly wanted to see, these people do a lot better in rehabilitation.
Well, that's encouraging then, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you enter with rehab in mind? Do you go to yourself, I'm desperate to fix this person up, or do you just do what you can do?
The way the show was structured, that each lesson focused on a different aspect of rehabilitation. So in a way, they were able to look at that rehabilitative heading, like choices, like courage, and relate that to the process of songwriting. So that's where we came in. I mean, I didn't come in with a rehabilitative plan myself, that it was already there. Although I really believe in rehabilitation, I think that as a society we should be judged on how we look after people that are the least fortunate, and I think that people in prisons have made bad choices, but in many cases they've had fewer choices than the rest of us.
And that's what I was going to ask. Have you changed your view in any way, shape or form about those people? These are basically good people who've made bad choices, or are some just bad people?
I think there's a lot of bad people in prison, and it's good that they're there, keeping the rest of us safe, but there's also a lot of people that deserve the chance to get back into society and become good citizens again. And what we hope with this show is that we have a nil reoffending rate, and that's been pretty good so far. The 8 people in the first show, or 12 people in the first show haven't reoffended, and the same. It's the same with this lot, although some of them are still inside.
And would you directly link that to music? Because that's a pretty profound thing. If you can, if you somehow link the thing, that is incredible. If you can write and sing songs, and that prevents you from.
I think they've learned a hell of a lot, and they've showed a lot of courage. I mean, I sit down to write a song, and some days I go, I'm not a very good person, so I'm not going to write a good song today.
Wow.
And it's just me telling me that, whereas these guys sat down every day and they were in prison, they'd had their freedom taken away, and the whole of society was telling them that they're not a very good person. And yet they managed to surmount that and write a song.
It's a curly one too, because it's quite a delicate situation, and us as musicians, that sort of had to be at the top of our pyramid as to what we had to provide. It was to focus on the music, because if you let their crimes mess with your head, your judgment might be all over the place. But, it took me age. In fact, a lot of their crimes were revealed to me throughout the program, watching it.
Did you think differently because of them when you found out what they'd done?
No, because, honestly, I know a lot of people not too dissimilar, although they haven't been insane, although they should be. I just talking about my nieces and nephews here, so, I didn't
speak very highly of you, Annie.
Hey, because, they want something in the will, and there's nothing. Okay, kids, there's nothing.
What's your belief on musicianship, if you like? Can it be taught to anybody, literally?
Yeah, there's craft, and you can help people to, you can help people as they're writing to sort of filter their experiences and learn to look at what's happening in their day and try to make a song out of it. And that's something you can help people to do. You can also just help them basically arrange songs, just the nuts and bolts of, I think it'd be good to put a bridge there, or I think that chorus is a bit naff, let's get a better chorus or something. All that sort of stuff you can teach them, and that's part of it. But the courage of being able to mine your own experiences and work out what you can share with other people, what you could share with an audience, that's hard to teach.
Beyond the cathartic and the help, have you got a hit here? Have you got a person who's going to make a living out of it?
I think there's a bunch of hits.
There is.
I don't know if any, it's hard to...
Well, on the Songs from the Inside Facebook page, the consensus seems to be Abby's song,
it's
Gangster Love.
Yeah.
So that's just going by what the people like, and then it trails down, and they all have their favourites, and the people speak as to what they like.
It's one of those albums, though, that I keep finding new stuff to love when I listen to it, and that's, I would say that because I was involved in helping to make it, but it really rewards repeated listening, so it's fantastic.
Good stuff. Well, lovely to see you guys. Very clever idea. Very clever idea.
Not our idea, but
I understand that, but it's good to be part of a good idea, no matter whose idea it is. Don McGlashan, Annie Crummer.